true that you described.
Hi book besties, welcome to my very first book video. I am Sakshi, your cozy reading buddy, emotionally unstable narrator, and an Emily Henry fangirl. And today we are diving into her newest book release, Great Big Beautiful Life. And I am spilling all the tea on where it ranks with the rest of her emotional roller coaster collection. So buckle up, grab some coffee. There's going to be yelling. Lovely. So let's get started. If you thought you knew what to expect from Emily Henry, think again. This book is a shift, bigger stakes, deeper emotion, and a twisty structure that will either keep you turning pages or pausing to take it all in. But at the center of it all, a reclusive heiress, two rival writers, and a story told in two conflicting truths. So now I'll get into the plot setup without any spoilers. Now here's the plot. Meet Alice Scott, an eternally optimistic celebrity journalist hoping for her breakout story, and Hayden Anderson, a grumpy Pulitzer-winning biographer who would rather eat glass than write fluff. They're both summoned to the mysterious little Crescent Island by Margaret Ives, a woman who once lived her life in the headlines, and now wants one of them to write her biography. But there's a catch. Margaret tells Alice one version of her life and a completely different one to Hayden, each under strict NDAs. Now, what unfolds is a psychological and emotional puzzle where truth is subjective and also deeply personal. Now, I'll get into what I really loved about this book. I absolutely loved how this book plays with memory and narrative. So, in this book, Emily Henry explores the idea that we are all unreliable narrators of our own lives. There's still romance, it's slow burn and beautifully done, but it takes a backseat to something bigger, legacy, truth, and the complicated relationship we have with our past. Also, Margaret Ives, easily one of the Henry's most compelling characters to date. I also do have a gentle critique to this one. So, all that being said, this book may not be for everyone. If you're expecting something like Book Lovers or Beach Read, you might feel a bit disoriented. The pacing is much slower and the structure is more fragmented. But if you really lean into it, it pays off. Quote moment of the book. I read out my most favorite quote. A life isn't one story. It's 1,000 overlapping, contradicting ones, and you only ever get to choose which ones you tell. That line hit so hard. Is Great Book Beautiful Life worth the read? Absolutely. Especially if you are ready for a literary detour with the emotional depth, tension, and mystery. Emily Henry took a risk here, and honestly, it worked. Let me know in the comments if you have read it or plan to, and which version of Margaret's story do you believe. Let me know if you would like me to read her YA books too. I am ready to comment. So that's where we stand, with our hearts full and emotional stability shaken, but in the best way possible. If you read The Great Big Beautiful Life, I'd love to know what you thought. Did you fall in love with Margaret Ives too? Was the ending everything you hoped for? And if you haven't read it yet, what are you doing? Go read it and come back here so we can scream about it together. I am so glad you stopped by for my first official booktube review. If cozy reads, emotional book chats, and the occasional book inspired crying session are your thing, hit subscribe and join the fam. Bye.